What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, a few of you may have questions as to why I changed my name on YouTube, if you guys have even noticed or paid attention. Um, so the other day I put a poll out asking people if I should change my name from Corolla Customs to King Customs or King's Customs. And I did get some feedback from people saying, yes, I should change the name. King's Customs has a nice ring to it. One of my commenters has said that. So I decided to go up and change it. So I put it from Corolla Customs to King's Customs. Corolla Customs was a name that I came up with way back when I first started the channel. I had no idea what to name it, and I owned a Corolla at the time, and that was the only vehicle I owned. So I was thinking that I was just going to do modifications to that vehicle. Needless to say, I didn't do anything to that car other than the backup camera and vinyl wrap, the little things that you guys saw through my journey with that vehicle. Over the years, I ended up getting the Chevy Avalanche, which ended up taking this YouTube channel to another level. And there was such a big crowd for that vehicle, and Corolla Customs didn't kind of fit. But I was too lazy to change it because I've already went all in. And the other day, I was hanging out with someone, and they ended up telling me, "Man, you should change your name. Your content's good. Change the name, and maybe you might get a little more traffic." So I decided to take it into consideration, and I ended up deciding, you know what, maybe they're right. Let me see where this takes me. And before that, anyway, I was always thinking about changing my name. I just didn't know what to change it to, and then I just came up with King's Customs, and I was just like, okay, that sounds like it has a better ring to it. So bear with me. Let me do this real quick. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to King's Customs, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about why Chevy had a bad batch of heads. Yeah, that sounds so much more cooler. But, yeah, that's what today's episode is, besides all of that. So we're going to talk about what's going on with my Chevy Avalanche. Now, you all know I rebuilt the engine. For those of you who did not see that series yet, I'm going to link it up here. It's a while back. But apparently, whenever we take the Avalanche out for a drive, I have not driven it for a while because I live in Florida and the Avalanche is in Jersey with my family. Eventually, one day soon, I'll go and get that. But the Avalanche is losing coolant. Now, it's not a head gasket issue. I do not have a head gasket issue. We built the gasket fine. When the engine was being rebuilt and we took it to the machine shop for the heads and the block, I was told that these heads do have an issue. Sometimes they crack in between where the spark plugs are by the valves, and it can cause issues. They've checked mine and said that there wasn't any cracks, but I believe that there is a little hairline crack that they could not see, and it's sucking in coolant slowly because when I look into the coolant missing, because the vehicle did come down here to Florida for a little bit. My parents had drove it down to visit me and whatnot. When I looked at it, no oil and water is mixing. That means that very slight coolant is disappearing, and it's not mixing to the point where it's going to turn the oil, but it's disappearing. So I talked to some Chevy technicians, and they have told me that there was a point in around that time era when I had that truck, when they made that truck, that those heads were bad. Now, they made a bad batch of heads, and Chevy has made a new batch of heads, and these heads are better. The casting on those old ones were bad, so everyone's been having that issues. I've talked to a few other Chevy techs who've told me, who have similar trucks with the same 5.3 Vortec engine. They've all told me their engine's doing the same thing. Coolant disappears a little bit, won't see it mixing in the oil. But the oil will turn like a black sludgy color, which makes me think the original reason why I built the engine was because of all that sludge. Now, it's making me wonder if that was part of it or it was just neglect on the previous owner with the oil changes. It could be a combination of both. I'm not sure. But I'm going to get that fixed soon. He told me that he's just going to ride his out until the gasket blows again. It's not really going to do anything much. Just keep topping it up and keep driving. But soon, I'm going to end up just getting the 2 new heads from the dealer. Apparently, they're not even that expensive. They're like $200 a head, which isn't that bad of a deal. I think that's just the head alone, not with the valves or anything. If you get it with the valves, it'll probably be like 300, which still isn't bad. But I'm gonna probably get the casting of the head alone and just rebuild the head. So we'll have another video coming out for that. So I've posted all my Chevy Avalanche videos on the Chevy Avalanche groups on Facebook. If you guys are on that group, make sure you leave a like or comment on my post, or follow me on this channel if you're not following me yet. But I left I left my playlist on the group, and this one guy told me that he was gonna build his engine very soon, and he's gonna follow my videos to a T, which is awesome. So thank you for that. But I just wanted to let him know, and I did let him know in the comment section below, and I want to let all of you guys know, if you're going to do this, swap out the heads. It doesn't matter if they tell you there is no crack, the heads are fine, just swap them out. Just avoid any problems later on. Get the brand new ones, put them on, and you shouldn't have an issue. You should not have an issue. So it sucks that I have to do this, because I put in so much time and effort to build that motor, and it sucks that like now coolant's disappearing and you're expecting it to last the way you're expecting it to perform the way it's supposed to perform, and everything's supposed to be still. At first I thought maybe the coolant disappeared because it was such a long drive and a tiny bit of coolant disappeared, but then I noticed that a little bit more were disappearing. It doesn't get to a point where the tank is empty, but it gets to a point where the tank falls under the sensor, and then we get a little check engine light that there's low coolant. But we'll get that fixed very shortly and very soon. As soon as I get that Avalanche down here, it'll probably be coming down maybe next month. I'm not sure. My parents might drive it down and leave it for me. Not sure. But if they do, it'll be cool. I'll just end up going by my friend's Matt's house, and we'll change out the heads over there, and hopefully have this all built out. So I got one more thing to say, and I just want to say thank you all for helping me hit 3,000 subscribers. This is awesome. I remember when I started the channel, and in 2018 I had 1,000 subscribers, so I guess every year I got into another 1,000, which is great. Hopefully we can take this channel to the next level and get closer to my 10,000 goals. Like I've said, I have awesome videos coming out. I have a collaboration coming out with another YouTuber, which will be great, and hopefully very soon we get that video out. It should be sometime this week or next weekend. I'll be filming that process. Update on the Corvette engine. If you guys followed me on my Facebook or my Instagram or my YouTube, it was sucky. I had to pull out the engine again for the 4th time. Why? Because apparently we had the wrong flywheel for that vehicle. So I don't know if I had told you guys this on that particular vehicle. 10 other mechanics had touched it before me throughout these years of 7 years, and parts went missing here and there, and some parts got back in the box that wasn't even with that engine. I had no idea, put everything together, turns out to not be the right part, so I had to pull it back out again, unbolt, get the new flywheel or flex plate, and put that one on. But hopefully, now that the engine's in, because we got the engine back in, hopefully that should be an easy process to get everything working smoothly. I also have some people coming over to help me with the carburetor and distributor. I feel like every time I talk to y'all, that's where we're always at, the carburetor and distributor. I'm so frustrated with it, so I'm going to be real with y'all. I've never worked on engines this old before. It's basically the same as how I built my Avalanche engine, just a little bit different. The only part that's frustrating me is that so much things are missing that I just don't know what's missing until I get to that point. And it just feels like it's never ending. But we're going to persevere, we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to get it done. So, guys, with that being said, and this whole announcement and this video on the heads, which was the main topic before I got off on my tangents again, just want to say thank you all for hitting me. Just want to say thank you all for helping me get to 3,000 subscribers. Let's hit that 4,000 mark. And please, make sure you leave likes and comments on my video, because the YouTube algorithm is going to favor me and it's going to push my channel up a little bit more and recommend me to other people. So help me out by liking the channel and leaving a comment. I do respond to every possible comment I can get my hands on. And with that being said, guys, thank you for joining me on our very first episode of King's Customs. And with that also being said, don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands, and do whatever you gotta do to survive out here. Peace out. Enjoy your day. Love you all. Bye.